Florida supporters on why they want Trump to win in 2020. On Tuesday night in Orlando, Florida, Donald Trump officially kicked off his presidential re-election bid. Of course, everyone knew he was going to run for a re-election. That was hardly a surprise. He filed his 2020 paperwork the day after his January 2017 inauguration, and he's been holding regular campaign-style rallies across key battleground states ever since. And so on Tuesday in Florida, one of the biggest of electoral battlegrounds, a state the president absolutely must win in 2020. It wasn't about whether Mr. Trump was going to seek re-election. It was about how he's going to do it. The event was an unveiling of sorts, a trial run of his speech to the American people for 4 more years, before a raucous, red hat-wearing crowd packing a 20,000-seat arena. Who will take on Trump in 2020? What Trump has said about Democrat hopefuls. Trump rallies are always a give and take affair, with the president trying out lines to see how his supporters react. And the crowd's response to Mr. Trump's 78-minute speech offered some clues of what could be in store. There were the expected boosts about the state of the American economy, which he called perhaps the greatest economy in the history of our country. He talked about regulation cutting, boosts in the military spending, trade negotiations, tax reform, border security, and judicial appointments. All received a warm reception from the audience. What he has done for this country, the manufacturing jobs coming back, our steel industry coming back, wages for the average American going up, Americans are getting back in homes again. It's a beautiful thing, said Robert Adamson, an insurance salesman from Merritt Island, Florida. This is the only platform he really gets where he gets a fair shake at being able to divulge his achievements. The Trump phenomenon has always been about more than policies, however, more than just promises made and promises kept, as Vice President Mike Pence said in his exceedingly conventional introductory speech. Mr. Trump's success has been about attitude and the ability to connect with his supporters, to make them feel like they are part of his movement. And that was once again on display on Orlando. I think he resonates with people because he comes across as a regular person, said Paul Barker, a maintenance worker for a college in Tampa, Florida. He doesn't talk like a polished politician. It doesn't matter if he comes across as being rash to harsh or even ignorant at times. At one point, the president polled the audience on whether he should keep "Make America Great Again" as his 2020 campaign slogan or opt for "Keep America Great." The deafening response to the latter option seemed to surprise even him. Similar levels of audience approbation came when he thanked outgoing Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who briefly took the microphone to say how honored she was to have a front row seat to history. She has been one of the president's most ardent defenders, and the crowd showed their love. She's been a fighter, says Christopher Dunn, a graduate student who traveled to the rally from the northern Florida with some friends. It's not conflict we want. We want somebody who won't roll over. Then there was the airing of grievances. If Tuesday's rally was any indication, the overriding theme of the president's re-election campaign will be a bid for vindication. Vindication against his critics in the fake news media, in the Democratic Party, and among the nation's elites. It's all part of the swamp, which he said he has been fighting back against him so viciously and violently. The president framed that personal vindication as a victory for his supporters, some of whom he reminded them were labeled deplorables by Hillary Clinton in 2016. The president also made dark warnings of what could happen if Democrats defeat him in 2020. They are really going after you, he said. They are trying to erase your legacy of the greatest campaign and the greatest election probably in the history of the country. In case that wasn't direct enough, he added, they want to destroy you and they want to destroy our country as well. Know it. Outside the arena hours before the event in the steaming Florida sun, a handful of anti-Trump protesters, the villains in the president's evening drama, waved small baby Trump balloons and hoisted handmade signs. Absolutely anyone else running 2020 red one. Held by Kim Portias, the president of Florida's National Organization for Women. Amy Mercado, a Democratic state legislator from Orlando, stood nearby and said she expected the president to throw red meat to his base. They know what they want to hear, she said, and so that's what is going to share with them. She added, however, that the president doesn't just motivate his own base, he motivates the opposition. And unlike 2016 Democrats, now know what a Trump presidency is like, and they'll organize to stop it. That could be what the 2020 election comes down to. A battle of turnout and passion, fueled by equal parts dedication to the cause and antipathy toward the opposition. On Tuesday in Orlando, Mr. Trump showed he can still draw a massive crowd that is itching for our political battles to come. At least on this night, the enthusiasm among the president's base for his rhetoric and pugilist attitude hasn't waned, despite polls showing an uphill road ahead for the president. In fact, the enthusiasm may be greater because of those pessimistic polls, because of the us against them nature of the undertaking. It's Mr. Trump and his faithful against the Democrats, the media, the world, and if his speech is a guide, that's just the way President wants it. It's Mr. Trump and his faithful against the Democrats, the media, the world, and his speech is a guide. That's just the way President wants it.